Good morning. This is Shelly Rivera, Coffee, Anxiety, and Love. I believe it's Wednesday, October something or another, 17, 18. I don't know. I feel like crap. All this is swollen. My eyes are itchy. My sinuses have been just horrible. Like since yesterday afternoon, I was having a lot of allergy related crap like the beginning of the week, into last week, beginning of this week. But last night, it just got so bad. This morning I woke up, my eyes were swollen shut. I was trying my best to get up this morning for my crew for Camp Gladiator, and I could not do it. And right now it's almost 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I am barely getting up out of bed and doing my tea right now. My husband cut me off from coffee for today, maybe the next couple of days. Coffee, just the caffeine causes a lot of mucus in my system, so I truly believe that's not the best thing for me to do right now. I'm just letting this run its course. I'm very prone to sinus infections because I do have a deviated septum, and I have the polyps in my nose, and I have a narrow passageway. So all that contributes to everything I feel. But this is midway point through October. Last video I posted was October 2nd. I've been extremely busy doing a whole bunch of work getting ready for market at the end of the month. I believe it's either 28th or 29th, whatever the Sunday is, the last Sunday of the month. We just got word this morning that our November market was postponed. They're going to reset the date. So all of our energy has to go into this market at the end of the month. And I was really hoping to do a little bit for this market, and then the November one, have a little bit more time to get some more stuff done. But it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. So please do share our post from the Healthy Hippie Ranch. Everything we're doing, we're really trying our best to get ourselves out there and bring in more income for our road trip. Oh, speaking of which, our Durango is now pretty much up and running. We have got the last of the few major repairs done. We do need some minor stuff done. We do need tires or whatever, oil change. We believe we might have an oil leak, but that is not a major deal. We should be able to take care of that ourselves. And other than that, hopefully today we can air up the tires and get a test run with the new power steering pump. See how that goes. So that was one of the big steps we were waiting for to get us on the road. Now we're going to finish packing here at the house. We've pretty much packed the kitchen. We've whittled down our clothing situation as much as possible. I do need to do one last run through on my part. I do know that I'm taking a lot of stuff that I may not really need to take with me, like a lot of the prettier, fancier clothes. I wore a lot of like business type of suits and jumpsuits and things like that. I might have to pull those out, hang on to them. I'm not getting rid of them completely, but I might need to pull those out and just hang on to them, put that in storage with everything else. We are going through right now. I've been looking at costs of storage. We are trying our best to get at least 2 or 3 months paid in advance. That way it's not so hard on us as we're going through our journey to keep up with that. That might be the one extra expense that we might have on the road, but that might end up being a dining table and our sofa as well. We're not really sure just yet. We're having a little bit of an issue getting rid of the dining table, only because it's brand new. It's solid wood. That thing is heavy, and we're just not willing to give it up for $100. So it may just end up being our dining table for the duration of our time together. So, and which is fine. It's a beautiful table. It's incredibly gorgeous. It's very natural and rustic looking. So I don't have any problem with that. But, that would help us get a couple of more things set for the road if we could get rid of that table, sell it. But what I do want to talk about is goals. Since we're midway through October, have you achieved any of your goals? Have you done anything you set out to do? Have you started? And again, I'm going to tell you, it's never too late to start.
Never too late.
It's midway through, and even if it's just finishing a book, I'm going to start a new book. And this is going to be, technical training, educational training. And I've been seeing on TikTok, and it's got me so excited. I love reading. I don't have time as much as I need to do it, but that's my fault. I don't make time. I have the time to do it. I'm sitting here and I'm working and thinking of things and grafting and doing our ledger and getting our expenses in order for the month, and cooking and homesteading. And I really do. I did one day where I set timers, and I'm like, okay, so for the first, the morning, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to time my beadwork. I'm going to work, maybe 2.5, 3 hours on my beadwork. After that, it's time that'll be around the time we're supposed to start having lunch, because we're trying not to eat before 12. There's some days that both of our stomachs are just growling and talking to each other, all upset. For what reason, I don't know. So we eat a little bit earlier. But typically it's been closer to almost 11 o'clock that we're actually eating our first meal. It's been very rare this month that we've been eating anywhere between 8 and 9. I want to say maybe one day, because we had some stuff to do and we knew we weren't going to be home all day, so we ate just to get us something in our stomach before we had to leave. But for the most part, we're eating between that 12 and 7 o'clock, 12 and 6, trying to stay within there. The evening part, it's been, a challenge to get that done, because I'm working in the evenings some days, so we do eat a little bit later, but it's not horrible. So I started setting timers for my day, and I think I really, really need to stick with that. It's just like a regular job, you have, the morning time, and then you have a break, and then you have your lunch time, and then you have meeting time. So I really do need to focus on working, being home as an actual quote unquote job, and I need to set times to do certain tasks. And there's going to be times where there's a project and I need to get something out right away, and the timer's not going to function for me that day. But for the most part, I need to discipline myself and do that, because I really do want to get to reading. That is one of my goals. And one of the other goals that I had was making my body scrubs, and I have done that. What I'm doing now is going back and looking at the recipe that I used. That way I can figure out how to get a more sellable product. Right now, the issue I'm having right now, even in the cold weather, is a lot of separation between the carrier oil and the scrub itself. So I need to figure out what's going to be the median to get those two things to combine well. It's always going to separate, but I just don't want as much separation on the carrier oil and between the scrub ingredients. So I'm working on that. I'm revising that recipe to figure out how I do that. So that's one goal I started on. That's very easy for me to get those produced and packaged up for our market at the end of the month. So that I'm not too worried about. I'll revise that hopefully this week before the end of the week, and I'll have a good consistency of what that's supposed to look like. But the other thing is, I've been seeing on TikTok, like I was saying, there's this TikTok that's called TBR for books. So it's to be read. And there's these people that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. I want to say maybe I have 100 books, maybe slightly more, but that's not, too many. But I want to start writing those books down, what I have, and separating them by technical or educational or research. Maybe I think I'm going to do technical, and then I'm going to do research, which is going to include our survival skills and all of our herbal remedies, medicines, and plant plant knowledge so that we learn what we find out on the road. And then I want to do just that fun reading category that I like thrillers, not so much scary books, but thrillers and like murder mystery kind of books. So that's the three categories I think we're gonna stick to. No, maybe there's four, because I think we want to do some like not so much like psychology books, but something in that area, you know, more on the mycology and the psychology and philosophy of some subjects that we have already in our head going on, you know. Yeah, so there may be 4 categories that I might be doing as far as TBR. So today's reading is technical. We're going with yoga, educational. I really want to get more into yoga and learning how to do that and being able to teach that. And eventually draw my certification on that, just as additional, you know, backbone for me as far as training. So yeah, let me know how you're going on your goals. If you've started, how's it going? And it doesn't matter where you are in your goal. If you started it, that is amazing. If you haven't, that's okay. Let's get you started. What is it that you want to do? It could be even a coloring book. You want to sit and color. And I know that sounds goofy, but I do that too. I have a whole box of markers and colors and color pencils and paints, and I do that too. And when I can't create anymore, and I can't think, and I can't read, and it's just all out of whack, I'll sit there and I'll color for a little bit. And there's some coloring books that are a little bit more challenging, like mosaic kind of coloring books, and then there's some that are just simple, almost kid-like books with, like, I have one that's Velveteen Rabbit. I color that all day, you know. So it's things like that you need to bring into yourself to figure out who you are, where you are, and where you want to be. And I'm very happy and very fortunate and very blessed that I'm able to do this that we're doing right now. And you just don't know how excited I was when that truck was fixed and I heard it turn on and the power steering pump is working. My husband and I both sat there just so excited, because that is a step closer to where we want to be. But we also know that there might be another obstacle coming our way, because it never fails. We get, 2 steps closer and something comes in and it throws us a step back. But we just keep pushing forward. We keep, slugging through the mud, and eventually the mud clears and you're out of it. And that's where I feel we're going at this moment. We're just kind of wading in the mud right now. And maybe that's all it's going to be. Maybe it's just going to be a wade through the mud, and then we're ready to go. Because, it's just been so anticipated. And it's taken us so much longer than we really wanted to take. But I think it was supposed to go this way. I honestly think it was supposed to go this way. That way we could see and learn and build some skills here at the house that we really, really are going to need for once we get on the road. So, with all that said, let me know how you're doing on your goals. I'm going to try to sit here and relax and read and not focus on too much right now, because my head is pounding. The sun is just bothering me like crazy. Got very bad sensitivity to light right now. And my sinuses are just going crazy. I'm going to do my best to make my evening class. This morning, I'm so sorry. I could not. My eyes were just swollen shut. My nose was just so stuffy, and I wasn't going to be able to give 100%. And it's hard for our group to just get up in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if I don't bring the energy that they need, I can't expect them to have the energy that I want. So I wasn't going to try to force it on myself. So I wasn't going to force it to them. So maybe this evening I'll feel a little bit better. I'm trying to get the tea in, trying to get all my meds in. And when I say meds, I mean our herbal stuff that we have. So let that all kick in, let that start working, and maybe in a little bit I'll feel better. So, Shelly Rivera, coffee, anxiety, and love. You guys work on your goals. If you started, great. I'm so happy for you. If you haven't, let's get you going. It's still never too late. As always, I wish you happy, healthy, prosperous, and abundant day. Love you guys.